Hey there, hope everyone is having a great day. My name is Mold. I make variety content on this little corner of the internet, but I've always had a kink for educationally informative tutorial videos that are geared towards new or unfamiliar players of a specific video game. In this video, we're talking about Tower Unite, and at the request of Chaotic Goddess, we're going to talk about healing and damage volumes. If you like this style of content, be sure to let me know in the comments by suggesting other builds, ideas, all that shit. Alright, so let's get into it. Feel free to get your condo loaded up and play along with me. When we say volume, we're talking about the space enclosed in a container. With damage and heal volumes, this can be in the form of a box, a cylinder, or a sphere. These areas will damage or heal players depending on how you tune the settings of the volume. These work great for hitboxes around the objects you build and have a pretty wide variety of uses. To start, let's focus on dealing damage for now. For reference, players have 100 health. We want to make sure deals damage is set to on, which it will be by default. We have a damage amount and damage over time slider, which does exactly what you would expect. We can set the damage amount to 10 and our damage over time slider to 1.0 for 1 second, and we will now take 10 damage every second that we are standing inside of the volume. This impacts visual effects only, but more importantly, it can be used to change the animation of how the player dies to the damage. If we're being electrocuted, maybe we want to use the disintegrate option to make it look like our player died a fitting death to the object we put this hitbox on. Maybe we're working on a platforming floor is lava type map. Simply change the damage type to lava, and this will give the player a sinking feeling, sort of like when you log on to check out other people's condos and it's filled to the brim with porn. Lastly, we have the volume shape drop down. This allows us to change the shape of our hitbox or heal box to the other shapes you see here. By shutting off the deals damage toggle, this volume now becomes a healing volume. This one is pretty straightforward after we've learned how to use the damage volume. We have a heal amount and a heal over time slider. Putting the two together side by side, we have a damage box that deals 5 damage every half second, and a heal box that heals us back to 100. So now that you know how these items work, let's put them to very basic use. Please remember that the limitations of Tower Unite's building is very expansive, and these are bare bones examples created to get your brains moving, and there are quite literally thousands of ways to use these items. For this video, we're going to continue using platformers as our example. Maybe you want to create a platformer and you've gone through the effort of creating obstacles, but we need them to do damage. We're going to take our damage volume and use scaling to make a hitbox for our spikes. I personally like to turn off collision with these items so that when I fall on the spikes, the player will sink into them rather than lay flat on them awkwardly. We're going to leave our damage over time at 0, and we're going to set our damage death to 100 for an instant kill when a player touches the spikes. We're going to set the damage type to fall, and for the most part, while things aren't visually the designs of an expert, it is functional. That's the important part. Now that you know how to use hitboxes, try to make a course for you and your friends to run on. I'm playing on smooth dirt so that I can create in free space, but you could use a teleporter in your condo to take players to your course if you really wanted to make it a permanent part of your home. Just like last time, we're using damage hitboxes on our spikes. Maybe we won't have them be insta-kills just for this example. At the end of our course, we have a moving spike set controlled by a simple mover condo item. And because it's grouped with our hitboxes move as well. Movers are a pretty new item in Tower Unite, and I hope to go over them when I myself become more experienced with them, but we will save that for a different day. With our course being functional, we can now run it and fine-tune it if we find that something doesn't feel satisfying. At the end of our course, we're using a teleporter that would take us to the next level. But for this example, I have it set to respawn us back here. However, what we can do is add a healing volume to the exit of the teleporter to make sure our player respawns with full health. And lastly, because Chaotic Goddess asked me how to use this with a button, we'll do exactly just that, but with a switch, just to keep you on your toes and encourage you to experiment. So let's make a heal button or a switch that only activates when the player does an action. We're also going to need something that deals damage to us purely for testing purposes. Maybe you created a long escape hallway scene, and at the end you want someone to heal themselves by picking up a bottle of medicine. Or maybe the player is being periodically poisoned and is desperately searching for an antidote in a race against time. You can use Condo IO to activate and deactivate these damage and heal volumes. We're going to use our Tower Glove and create 2 connections, one for when the lever is on and one for when it's off. If you're not sure how to use the Tower Glove, I have a video covering that in great detail. Feel free to check it out after you're done here. If you have trouble connecting to the event that you want, just copy and paste a connection using the options here and set them up manually for each event. From here, we'll set the heal volume to activate when the lever is in the on position and deactivate in the off position. As a tip, you see how when I'm healing at this rate, it just looks pretty chunky and slow? That has to deal with our amount and overtime sliders. For a clean, fluid heal animation, try setting it to heal the player 1 health every 0.01 seconds. This will constantly trigger the heal every centisecond or hundredth of a second. That's all I have for you folks, and I hope that you learned a thing or two, and I would love to hear about what you build with these damage and heal volumes. Feel free to let me know in the comments if there's something else that you want to talk about. You can hit that like button to support my starving family.
Look at that. They're starving for your likes. Please don't let them go hungry. They're counting on me.
You can also check out my Twitch streams. I intend to play Tower Unite on Tuesdays and Thursdays in December 2024. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.